Welcome to Movie News and Chill, where we love movies and we love to chill. My name is Tyler, and today we are reviewing the newest video game movie, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is an action film based off the popular video game saga about the warriors of Earthrealm battling against the champions of Outworld in a tournament that will decide the fate of their universe, starring Louis Tan, Jessica McName, Josh Lawson, Ludi Lin, Joe Tazlin, and Makad Brooks. My reviews are usually non-spoilers, that way I can give everyone a chance to either check it out in theaters or in this case, HBO Max. First things first, I like to acknowledge that I'm not the biggest gamer growing up. I mostly play like Nintendo DS's and a little bit of a Wii every now and then, but as far as like hardcore gaming, that was never me. And my history with Mortal Kombat was I used to play Mortal Kombat versus DC when I was a kid with my brother and everything. But as far as like the actual MK1 1 through 11, I never really got into those really. I was more of a movie person, obviously. At the time, I really thought that Mortal Kombat was just like this generic fighting game, but with a whole lot of blood. But when I heard that they're making a Mortal Kombat reboot, I wanted to know like the lore, why people like this character so much, and why the game has ran for so long. And I did my research, and turns out I like it. It's pretty cool, like really rich characters for every last one of them. So when I watched the movie, I saw it from like a newcomer, fresh eyes really. So I have no like strong ties to the video game lore, but as far as like a newcomer, it was interesting. Before we begin, I like to acknowledge that I'm going to do this video with non-spoiling in the beginning and spoiling in the end. So if you haven't seen the movie, that's your warning. I would say that this film is definitely a huge step up from the original 1990s Mortal Kombat, because that thing was cringy, cheese-filled, dated mess back then. I mean, no offense to the original OG Mortal Kombat fans, but that movie was trash in my opinion. Both the first one and Annihilation. It wasn't my cup of tea. But as far as the reboot, they do what the original didn't. It's rated R. It's got the violence. It's got the fight scenes. We got the special effects and everything. And it really does that part of the justice to the game very well. But that's about as far as it'll go. As far as the characters, let's start number one. Cole Young. Cole Young is the newest character in the Mortal Kombat lore, and it shows because this character seems like the most unnecessary character to be shown in Mortal Kombat, because he doesn't really fit with the rest of the cast really. He just seems just there as a way to ease audiences in this world to like see what the purpose of Mortal Kombat is and like why. But of course you gotta acknowledge the OGs of Mortal Kombat, which is of course the Earthrealm fighters, which is Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, Jax, Kung Lao, and of course Lord Raiden. But there's a catch. Lord Raiden is one of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat, and he's the god of thunder, obviously, the protector of Earthrealm. This dude, I thought was really huge miscasting for the dude who plays Lord Raiden. He just comes off as not a very good mentor. He just comes off as just insulting his own students. He just doesn't really look godlike. He just looks like not even a very good cosplay, like really. But of course you got your classic Outworld villains, which is Reptile, Melina, Cabal, Shang Tsung, and they do pretty well with what they have. Out of all the characters that really stand out is actually Kano and Sub-Zero. They did really awesome. Like Kano was like actually one of the funniest characters in this whole film. Like he added a whole lot of energy to it. He was like just blabbermouth. He was really accurate to the source material. So I give that actor the props. Sub-Zero on the other hand, this is the Bi-Han version, the very evil version from the original MK game. This dude was like so menacing. Like I never really thought that he made the power of ice really menacing, and he used it very, very well. So props to the actor. He was really dope in it. Alright, now we're about to get into the spoiler portion of this review. So if you haven't seen the movie by now, please cut it off. If you haven't, it's on you. You ready? Let's go. I just love the fact that the film just opens up with Bi-Han versus Hanzo Hasashi, setting up the origins of how they became Sub-Zero and Scorpion. It was just really great. It set the tone. It was bloody. It was so violent. Like, I love the tension between the two because you could just feel the fact that these two share so much rivalry and history with each other that you just love to see this game of lore just finally told in live action form. Now, like I said earlier, Kano and Sub-Zero are definitely the best parts of the movie, but for some reason, the other characters don't really stand out as much. They just seem like the generic hollow version of their gaming counterparts, because even the gaming lore, each of the characters are very interesting in their own way. So to see them just not really represented in this live action reboot, which they have the opportunity to actually make the previous 1990s film an upgrade, they just don't utilize it, which is unfortunate. And if you notice why I haven't mentioned the character Scorpion from my non-spoiler portion of the review, it's because he's barely in it. He literally has only 2 scenes out of the entire movie. Once when he's Hanzo Sashi being murdered by Bihan, and the very last scene, he's Scorpion. That's like his only fight scene, just fighting Sub-Zero. I mean, it's a great fight, but why would you bench Mortal Kombat's most popular character, Scorpion, the fighter of Netherrealm? Like, he's Scorpion. Like the dude has the most best catchphrase. Get over here. Why was he utilizing the film? He was used to promote it and everything, and yet he just used at the very last moment. I can't even tell you the disrespect they gave the character Goro. Goro, the champion of Outworld, they made him look so weak in this movie because they let this newcomer Cole Young beat this 4-arm Shao Kahn monster, and they just made him look so weak. Like, why? I mean, I get that they gotta like make this new character pop and everything, but why against Goro? Like let him show that he's the champion of Outworld for a reason. I mean, he's cool visually, but he barely does anything at all. Like one scene. That's the one less scene than Scorpion. No disrespect to the character of Cole Young, I just think it was a mistake to use him as the leading role above Liu Kang. I mean, it's Liu Kang. I mean, this is his franchise. He's the star of Mortal Kombat, and to just make him like the third most important character in the entire film, it's like really disrespectful, especially to long-time Mortal Kombat fans. Another character that I thought was cool was Kung Lao, and I thought they utilized him very coolly. Like, I love his fight scenes. I love that they utilized his blade hat, which is pretty cool. But I thought it was a mistake that they killed him off within the first movie. He was killed off by Sang Soon, took a soul. But I don't know. I mean, I really like to see his character, but I do like the fact that even your favorite character might die, because Mortal Kombat, a lot of people die. Another creative choice that I didn't like was actually they used the character Melina before they used the character Katana, which is her clone, obviously. But I'm like, why? I mean, she's supposed to be like her Melina's supposed to be like her deformed monster half, and Katana's like, for one, she's also Liu Kang's love interest. So to see that in the first movie, it was kind of like kind of an odd choice. So it definitely leaves speculation for the sequel though. But we gotta acknowledge the elephant in the room. Where's Johnny Cage? Johnny freaking Cage. He's one of the original fighters of Mortal Kombat, and to leave him out in the reboot, the disrespect. Like, come on, man. Like, okay, it's cool that you got Kano to like add a whole lot of levity, but Johnny is the funny man. He's the guy who adds the levity to the trio. Like, it's Sonya, Liu Kang, and Johnny Cage. Who's Cole Young? Why is he there above Johnny Cage? The disrespect. Okay, as bad as the creative choices are, I actually really do want to watch the sequel though, because they definitely tease on really cool things. Because for one, we gotta have Johnny Cage. For two, of course, Bihan dies, and it's only up to speculation that he's going to go into the Netherrealm and be turned into the fan favorite character, Noob Saibot. And of course, with him gone, we need a new Sub-Zero, which brings in Sub-Zero's brother, the good Sub-Zero, who fights for the Earthrealm fighters. So that'd be pretty interesting. So we got a lot of good promises. Who knows? Nevertheless, if I had a wish list for the possible characters I would like to see in Mortal Kombat 2, it is Shiva, Baraka, and Quan Chi. Quan Chi would be a really cool villain for the sequel. But hey, to each his own. As far as I'm concerned, this is the best adaptation to anyone who wants to get into Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, Scorpion's Revenge. This cool animated film. It's pretty true to the source material. It's just, in comparison to the new movie, it's actually way more fun and a lot more accurate. So, that's just me. But I'm pretty sure everyone can agree, nothing, and I mean nothing, can ever be as bad as Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Cause yeah. Overall, I give the film a 7 out of 10. It's not as good as I wanted it to be, but it's definitely not as bad as it could have been, especially coming from a film that's based off a video game, and I saying a lot. So if you have your own HBO Max account, or if your local theater is open, go and check it out. The characters don't really live up to their potential, but the action scenes alone, I think is worth your time. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on all my social medias. This has been Tyler from Movie News and Chill.